Welcome, everyone, to Star Trek Online. I am Takeshi Yamato, and I am joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Forgive Take's bad mic, he's not using the good headset. Today we're talking about the Nebula-Class in all of her glorious variants.
Yeah. Nebula-Class is the Miranda concept applied to the Galaxy design, but with a few additions.
Those additions, of course, being a secondary hull, and not a roll bar, but a multi-mission pod.
It is modular.
The first time we saw the Nebula was in Season 4 episode The Wounded, with the USS Phoenix under the command of Benjamin Maxwell, whose registry code you see on screen, 65420, meaning the Nebula actually predates the Galaxy. I'm not kidding you. Look at the Galaxy's registry code. This was the final step of the Galaxy development program.
Yep.
And prior to Cryptic making every ship dilithium bait, this used to be about 1,000 Zen.
Yep. And the first time we saw it was the Phoenix, and it had that rounded pod on the top. That was basically a sensor pod.
S-Wax, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. Most of the time, we see it with the triangular pod.
First seen on the Farragut, or rather the Sutherland.
Yeah. This thing is... that pod is more combat style, with extra phasers, extra torpedo tubes, probes, that sort of thing.
There was a pre-Nebula that we saw in Bull 359 that had 2 extra warp nacelles, but I don't think that one's ever getting into the game.
No.
Now, there is two more variants of this ship before Tier 6. You're looking at the Tier 3 version, which honestly isn't great. But then again, pre-Rear Admiral, Tier 6, never good enough.
Yeah.
Of course, the normal one, the one from Commander level, does include a tachyon detection grid console, which comes from the Sutherland.
Yeah. Tachyon detection field. The grid is the Tier 5 version.
The Tier 5 version also unlocks a fleet variant.
Yep.
And if you have the Tier 4 Galaxy, you get access to a new skin.
The Venture.
Well, I suppose Monitor would be the more correct name.
Yeah. But, I like the design. It's nice. Rounded, the nacelles look nice. The pod looks nice, and definitely looks like you could fire weapons out of that thing.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, and the deflector dish looks nice too.
I'm a bit iffy on that. This is the fleet version. Now, originally this ship didn't look like this, but as you might have guessed, Cryptic went through a bit of a let's make them all screen accurate phase.
Yep.
No one is considering this a bad thing. And in case you'd noticed,
nope.
There are 2 secondary hulls for this thing. The one you're seeing is from the original. Think of it like a pre-Galaxy.
Right.
After all.
Your audio cut out there for a second.
Oops.
Yeah.
Anyway, to look at the Phoenix, you see this little addition. But when you look at the Farragut, it's just a galaxy deflector. This is because of a real-life modeling choice. The original Phoenix, well, the original Nebula, had that odd dish. Meanwhile, later variants, kit-bashed straight from the galaxy. The CGI models also followed this route.
Yep. And now we come to Tier 6.
The Sutherland-Class. A temporal science vessel.
Yep. It has a lieutenant commander engineering temporal slot. It also has a lieutenant commander universal slot, which is quite useful. And that pod, again, looks very nice and definitely looks like you can fire torpedoes out of it.
I have problems with this skin, mostly because of how thin those braces look. But then again, that problem extends to the other Galaxy variants.
Yeah, fair enough, but I like the saucer section. I like that pod. I like the secondary hull. And the nacelles may be blocky, but they
work. And I'll give Cryptic...
Pylons are the only... Yeah.
Give Cryptic their credit. They know what they're doing. This is just an evolution of the 24th century designs that we all know and adore.
Yeah.
It even makes room for a secondary shuttle bay.
Yeah.
And then there's the ship I will be getting sometime soon at the recommendation of my good friend Take.
The Fleet's Advanced Research Vessel.
A very engineering-biased version.
Yeah. This comes with its own unique skin, sort of based on one of the Galaxy's variants, I guess.
Definitely.
And that pod, the pod on the back, it works.
I guess you could call it an evolution of the S-Wax one from the Phoenix.
Yeah.
It reduces its offensive capabilities, but this thing's not exactly meant for combat. At least heavy combat.
Yeah. So, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Sutherland-Class does have a second pod option. I mean, we could look at it in the ship editor.
I'll have to get my hands on the ship, though.
Yeah.
Which I can easily correct. Just give me a moment. You know, it's a good thing I can get these ships for free.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see what kind of pod options we got.
Right.
Pod. Not the
That's the center pod.
Farragut.
Farragut.
Magellan. Neb. Phoenix.
Sutherland. You're right. Sutherland Beta is that triangular one. Regular Sutherland. Yeah, that's a more rounded one.
Why does this work? Why do all these... I
don't know.
On the other hand, it's the Nebula. They all work.
Yeah, it is. The Nebula-Class was designed with modular pods in mind.
And despite
even the table, even the tabletop role-playing system Star Trek Adventures has multiple pod options for the Nebula. It's not the best. I mean, they don't have they don't have a whole lot. They've got 3, but they work.
My main problem with
And
this is that it's a science ship.
Yeah.
Really, this is just a smaller galaxy. Effectively,
Yeah.
a battle cruiser galaxy. We'll be getting to that one tomorrow, by the way.
Right. But, yeah. That's the Nebula-Class. It worked. It's a design of... It's an offshoot of the Galaxy design. And those modular pods work because they are designed to work. It was designed with modularity.
Welcome to Starfleet. If it doesn't do a dozen jobs, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which... Alright, we'll deal with that another day. Housecoat Gaming, signing off.